Hello my friends and welcome back to the rabbit hole. Today's video is finally my giant Uoma Beauty brand review. Oh, this video is about the furthest you can get from a first impression. I'm going to be talking about products I've been using for, is it 2 years? When did Uoma come to Ulta? Time is very hard to count these days. It's so funny, back when I was in grad school, I had a slightly older fellow grad student, and I remember asking her her age, and she was sitting there counting on her fingers trying to figure it out, and I remember saying, you do math all day long, how can you not figure out your age? She was like, you will know one day, you too will be counting on your fingers. Sure enough, people ask me my age now, and I go, you ask a 4-year-old, they're like, 4.5. They know exactly immediately. You get a little older, you don't know anymore. Oh, it might be a chatty video. This is what happens when I don't have a specific topic to talk about. Well, that may happen, but I am going to try very hard to focus heavily on my long-term thoughts of all of the products in this video. Also, really quickly, to my headphones wearing listeners, I apologize if you hear crickets. I am not adding that sound effect. It is what happens when you have chameleons who are hunger striking. The chameleons only want to eat worms these days instead of crickets, and they need their crickets for protein. It's kind of like when you give kids broccoli and they don't want to eat it, they just want dessert. At least if the broccoli chirped until they ate it, you follow. The topic today is indeed Uoma Beauty. What I want to do is take you through my entire collection, all of which I have purchased with my own money, and kind of tell you about the products, what I recommend, what I don't recommend, and very importantly on choosing the right shade. That was my biggest problem with this brand when I first found them, so we'll cover all of that. I like to start my routine with eyeshadow, so I'm going to start with sharing my eyeshadow palettes. I own Poise and Carnival. I'd say between the two, we're going to use the Carnival one today because that one is my favorite. I do like the color scheme of it, but also worth noting, I do think Poise is a really great palette. I think what they did a great job with here is creating a palette that will work especially on deeper skin tones. So many palettes on the market are admittedly geared towards lighter skin tones, so it's so nice to see this kind of really perfect sequence of shades that can work on a deeper skin tone. And if you do have a lighter skin tone, it's still nice to have those in your collection so you can do more outer crease work. Really beautiful palette, not the one I'm going to use today, but gorgeous nonetheless. Should we do a more neutral look today, or should we do something more bright and fun? Let's do bright and fun. Why wouldn't we? This is such an excellent formula. You'll very quickly be able to see how pigmented it is, and yet it's still easy to work with. It's not that kind of pigment that kind of spreads everywhere and you get a lot of fallout. Yeah, it's actually an easy formula to work with. So we don't have any particular topic for today's video, so I'll just go ahead and ask how you all are doing. How's 2021 shaping up for you? I'm in a great mood today, but I will admit to you, I had a bit of a rough start for 2021. I kind of did it to myself. Some of you even called me out for this. You said you're hyping yourself up too much. It's still gonna be a lot like 2020. Yeah, it's very true that the world doesn't heal itself overnight, and you know, it's been a very hard year. 2020 was a very hard year for a lot of people. I will say though, I have a whole new appreciation for YouTube and for especially small content creators. You know, some of the big ones have certainly not been behaving lately, but some of the small content creators have just done such a good job of making me feel like I'm less alone in a lot of the difficult emotions we've had to face as a consequence of all of this. I think that at least in America, you know, we're taught from such a young age that you have to have control over your emotions. You can't ever be sad or feel like, you know, something is off in life, and that's not very realistic. You know, we all deal with emotions, and this is hard for a lot of us. But I also think it's incredibly hard to be able to talk about this and still, focus on the positive aspects. I genuinely think that you know, if you're having a bad day, that is not the best time to film. I think the best time to film and, you know, share everything that you're dealing with is after the bad day has passed and you're able to, you know, share how you got through it. It's a brighter outlook to be able to say, yeah, this happened, I felt really down, but here's what I did and here's how I now feel better. I just feel like some of the smaller content creators that I watch here on YouTube did such a good job of making me feel like it wasn't just me who was feeling down. I just really adore these content creators for making me, as well as I assume many others, feel like, you know, we're all in this together and we're all gonna get through it together. I do have to admit though, I do feel a little odd saying that sentence. I did lose my friend, a lot of you lost people as well, so it's not you know, a fully true statement, but I think the sentiment is important. I think it's a good anchor for when you're really tired of it, when you really just want to get up and go outside and throw a party. You know, you think about why we don't do that. We're not doing that for other people. Let me tell you, I don't even like parties and I would love to throw one, but I'm not going to. And the reason is because we are in this together and I want to make sure I'm thinking about other people. This is so much bigger than my comfort, so much bigger than your comfort, and you know, we are getting through it. We really are. A heck of a lot slower than I think most of us anticipated or would have liked, but we are making progress. I kind of hate that my only real miss from the brand has to go second in this video, but that's my order of application, so we'll try it. We'll see if this works today. This is the Cleopatra ink eyeliner. When I first opened this, I did not get anything out of it. I think it actually might be completely dried out. Oh yeah, you see how it's not really drawing a very black line? It's such a shame because I love the shape of it. This is a brush tip and a very fine brush tip, but I've just never been able to get any product out of this. Not any, it's kind of drawing, but it's not a very solid black line. Look at that, doesn't that look really quite gray? It's such a shame. I checked the reviews on the Ulta site and it looks like I'm not alone in this, but yeah, it's a shame. Let me see if I can get anything out in a swatch. That one looks okay. Maybe it's just really gotta get the ink. Nah, I just gotta call this one a miss. Apologies. I promise you it's the only miss in the whole video, but yeah, it's a miss for me. But on the topic of eyeliner, oh my god, my Maybelline Hyper Easy, my holy grail eyeliner, I feel so betrayed by it. I bought one a couple months ago, and it was the exact same situation as what I was just using. Same thing, no pigment whatsoever. Can you imagine how betrayed I felt? I have been recommending and raving about that eyeliner and I got a dud. So I guess that really goes to show that you can get a dud. I'm using this one, the Tarte Double Take Eyeliner. This is what I've been using ever since. It's actually a really good eyeliner. We're not going to make this video about Tarte though. I actually really want to include some other black-owned brands in this video, so I'll do that, but this is just what I have for eyeliner today. Moving into my personal favorite category, base products. Just so you know, I did apply some of the Nola Skin Essentials Soothing Primer Oil. I bought the Try Me size of this, and because you use 1 to 2 drops, this is gonna last me for so long. And then I'm going to be using the Say What Weightless Foundation. My shade is Fair Lady T1 In. Well, oops, I still have those swatches on my hand. So, some notes about this. This is a pretty liquidy foundation. It is better if you shake it. So, if you have it shaken up quite well, it's not too liquidy. You just absolutely do want to make sure that you shake it up first. Alright, so I'm going to be using this brush to spread it out, and then I'm going to use my e.l.f. sponge afterward. This foundation is actually quite pigmented, so you don't want to apply it too heavy, as long as you keep it fairly light. I think I pumped out 2 pumps, so I probably won't use everything that I pumped out. This is one of my absolute favorite foundations, and it's been in Ulta sales at 50% off. I think that was a 21 days of beauty sale, so you can get this for a really great price. The biggest catch is I think it's very hard to find a good shade match. I was kind of first in line to buy this foundation solely because they have an entire olive range. So here's the thing, they have an olive range, but they're doing the thing with the olive, they're doing the thing with that range where some people perceive olive as a shade range in itself, like it goes fair, light, medium, olive, which olive is an undertone. I guess it's an undertone that can mix with another undertone, so I technically do have an olive neutral undertone, neutral olive undertone. So when I had bought their lightest olive shade, it was way too deep for my skin, but I could tell it was a gorgeous foundation. So that's actually one of those rare times where I did return a product and I bought the correct shade. Thankfully, my olive undertones come out more when I get more sun, and I haven't been getting, Lord, any sun, so I look a little more neutral these days. But yeah, one of my friends actually was just asking me on Zoom, they're like, didn't you used to kind of be tan and now you're extremely pale? I guess it's amazing what the sun is capable of doing. I'm going in with the concealer next in the absolute lightest shade range. This concealer kind of got the brand a little bit of flack for a while. So when they first released it, their lightest shade was in the Fair Lady range, and it was T1N. I do own that, their previous lightest shade. There it is. It's deeper than the foundation I just applied in the next range. But I mean, I can't get mad at them. They listened to feedback, they expanded the range. So again, this one is T.75, and then they have an even lighter shade that is T.5, and I've heard that that one is very, very pale. Let's pause briefly for a mini review of these. So the foundation, the Say What foundation, is gorgeous. They call it a weightless hydrating foundation, and I very much agree with that. It feels like nothing on your skin, and yet it wears beautifully. It does not feel drying. It's a gorgeous, more natural finish and still very high coverage. So, you know, it's amazing to find a foundation that feels like nothing but is still high coverage. Just do remember to shake this up before use. On the shade range, this is the Fair Lady range. It is the second lightest range. I have all of my foundations listed in the description box below, so check that for some similarities. But yes, this is a great match. They do have some claims of each different lid type is supposed to have different benefits. I don't pay a lot of attention to that for reasons I've given in so many videos. Foundation is made to sit on your skin instead of sink into it. Yes, you do get some of the benefits, but not in the same way as you do skincare ingredients that are formulated to penetrate deep into the skin. And the Stay Woke concealer, you saw how little of that I used. It's a medium to full coverage concealer. It's not quite Shape Tape full coverage, but it's a beautiful in between, still full coverage, and yet of course you can sheer it out and you get a beautiful concealer that doesn't crease through the day. It's really well made. Just know that I am in the lightest range, so I think there's not a lot of options here. I'm able to pull off T.75. I hear 0.5 is very, very white. But if you are slightly different in undertone, I don't know if it's going to work as well. I just think that this might be the most limited range here. I'm going to use my Amaliwa Cosmetics setting powder today. Next, the Double Take Sculpt and Strobe Duo Stick. So with this one, I again bought the second lightest shade, and I wish I'd bought the lightest. I wish I'd bought the White Pearl range. This one is a very pigmented and a little bit too deep for my skin tone, so I'm just going to pick some of it up with a brush and blend it out a lot. It's really a bit of a characteristic with this brand is I kept finding that I needed to go up a shade from what I expected. So that's the best basic advice I can give you if you do have a similar skin tone to me. I don't know if that's going to, you know, apply to everybody. I also kind of feel like this shade is a bit more of a bronzing shade than a contour. It's a little bit more warm, and it is very creamy. You see that I've just, you know, transferred this to my brush and we're still seeing that amount of pigment. So a quick little mini review of the contour stick. I actually did not like it at all when I first got it because of that warmth to it, but the funny thing is, you know, this was a year ago at this point. I used to only really wear contour. I don't always love how bronzer looks on me. However, bronzer has been getting more and more momentum, and I feel like it's kind of a perfect, what do they call it, bronzer? It's one of those shades that really isn't too warm, so you can pull it off as a contour. It actually is really nice. You just have to know that it is incredibly pigmented, and one of these will probably last you for your whole life. Hold on, I'm curious about something now. I want to see how this shade compares to Fenty's Butter Biscuit. Let's do a swatch side by side. It looks like Butter Biscuit is going to be a little bit more cool. Did I pick up any product? See, I think it's that Fenty's is easier to work with because look how much less pigmented that is. But if we blend this out, are they going to be similar? Oh, fascinating. That is very interesting. It does look like the Fenty is a little bit more cool, but yeah, they're kind of close once you blend out that incredibly intense Uoma. I'm going to really quickly add some color to my face with the Lip Bar face palette that I cannot stop raving about, so I will be back very shortly. Let's do brows next. Yes, I have become a more normal person who does my brows after foundation, but also because I finally figured out just don't do that much. You don't have a lot of brows. Doing a lot looks very forced. I have all three of their brow products. There's actually still a set available on the Ulta website if you want to try this out, although I think it's only in the 2 lightest shades. But I will tell you this, I used my same experience with this brand in picking out a brow product. I decided that since I had always bought products that were a little bit too deep for my skin tone, I said, okay, I'm usually shade 2, I'm usually a good taupe. We're gonna buy shade 1. And I do indeed think that that was the correct call. But yeah, this is such a sleek little brow pencil, very pigmented, very easy to work with, doesn't fade through the day, wears really well. The brow products are great. I'll add the gel after this just so we get a little bit more of a boost. I'm actually going to switch to the Fro To Go, which is a 3-in-1. This side is the thicker pencil, but it also has a highlighter in it. So we'll use some of this under. You know what's something I really had to learn over the years of watching, kind of especially some of the larger content creators, is I had to realize that sometimes I would buy a beauty product because I wanted my brows or my lashes to look like that person's brows and lashes, but it wasn't actually the product that was doing it. It's that they just, were naturally born with beautiful thick brows that any product in existence can enhance, even the worst products. And nothing is ever going to give me gigantic feathery brows. It's never going to happen, but I'll tell you what, someday skinny little brows will be back in style, and finally I'll have my moment. Finally, people will come to this channel and not have horrible things to say about my brows. Instead, they will say, how did you do it? How did you get those brows? And the true answer will be, well, I rolled out of bed this morning. Guess who just discovered their camera wasn't recording? Oh, God. We didn't lose too much, so I can catch you up on it. I did finish the eyeshadow palette. I did share my thoughts on the brow products, so I'll reiterate those in a second. Right now I'm using the Drama Bomb mascara. I didn't like this initially. It's a very wet formula when you first get it, and it's that hourglass wand shape, kind of like Too Faced Better Than Sex. But with time, I have liked it. It's dried out a bit. I think it's a great daily, very volumizing mascara. Moving into the last category, the lip products. I think I'm going to do my favorite lip color today. I don't know if it's going to work with the look, though. What am I talking about? It's makeup. If I don't like how it looks, we can wash it right off. So this is the shade Coretta, and it's a beautiful pinky color, and I just love pink lipstick. I love it. Pink nude lipstick, pink, bright pink lipstick, love that as well. So I'll use the lip liner in the shade Angelou. Oh my god, I wanted to highlight some of my favorite creators that I've been watching in this video, my favorite BIPOC creators. Maybe if I don't talk while I'm applying, liner. I'll make sure to include that before the video ends. Can you see how this one is basically the exact color of my lips? This was such a good match. And by the way, these are super underrated. They apply very much like a lipstick. It's very creamy, but they wear all day exactly like a lip liner. They're really good. Spoiler that I'm about to tell you, Uoma does lip products very, very well. I probably could overline my lips, but I don't. If somebody has a problem with my smaller upper lip than bottom lip, that's their problem, not mine. And then the lipstick. I actually think I kind of love the lipstick with this look. It came out really well. We're done. I do want to mention a few of my favorite content creators, the people that I've been watching that have helped me in this time. So first off, the Fancy Face. I love her so much. She has such a way of making makeup fun. You watch her videos and you can just absolutely tell that she loves makeup, and she makes videos because she loves makeup. Makeup should be fun. It's an opportunity every single day to take this blank canvas and transform it into whatever you want to, and at the end of the day, you wash it all off, you get a brand new day. The next day, I think it's just so fun. I've also mentioned nappy-headed jojoba before. I always learn something from her channel. She is very opinionated in a way that I really do appreciate. She teaches me something every time. And for a more laid-back channel, I love Keeping It Simple with Bridget. She's so calming. I watch her in the evenings when I'm unwinding. Tina, I watch her in the middle of the day while I'm doing my makeup looks. Bridget at night, she calms me down. She does really great, more thorough videos, and she loves skincare just as much as I do. I got a few more products to give you some speed reviews, and then we're done with this video. So I do want to mention the lashes really quickly. I'll put up some clips so you can see these up close. I have Rio and Trinidad, and they're so fun. The Trinidad lashes are this bright purple. The Rio has little gemstones on it, and they're really nice quality lashes. This lipstick that I'm wearing is absolutely my holy grail lipstick formula in existence. I love it because it's exactly what I was looking for. So you do have to be somebody who likes a more matte finish, as it does look more matte on. It wears a very long time, and when it fades evenly. Feels comfortable on your lips. I don't know how they did that, and that's probably my favorite characteristic of these lipsticks. You know, so many matte lipsticks feel extremely drying. For the record, since some people do not believe we exist, I actually was a huge fan of liquid lipsticks because of their longevity, but I wasn't ever gonna sit here and pretend liquid lipsticks were comfortable, and that's what these give me. It's almost the wear of a liquid lipstick, but it's actually comfortable. And the colors are so beautiful. I'll have some swatches up for you to look at. I'd say my absolute favorites, Coretta is such a beautiful one, the one I'm wearing today. Eartha is probably my least favorite. It's a little bit more difficult to pull off, but I'm sure it does work for very light skin tones, but it's very, very light. I also really love the shade Maya, and Whitney and Tina are my bright colors. They're both very fun. Whitney is a gorgeous hot pink, and Tina is a gorgeous, almost orange color. They're just phenomenal lipsticks. I knew from the very first time that I wore them that I was going to love them, because this is a true story. I'm a snacker. I snack all day. So when I finish this video, what do you think the first thing I'm going to do is? It's going to be to eat. And this always happens. I put on lipstick and then I'm hungry, and that happened with the first ever application of this. So I went to go snack on, I think, an apple, and finished my apple. I was like, well, now I'm gonna need to reapply my lipstick. I look in the mirror, it is all there. You know how rare that is. That does not happen with lipsticks. There is a potential con. A few people have pointed out that they break. I think I might actually apply my lipsticks gently. I think I might. I've had this happen, not with these, only with mini, like sample sizes. Those do break because they're so thin. I feel like, of course, they break. But yeah, this hasn't happened to me. However, just do be aware that quite a few people have said that's happened to them with this formula, and probably also know that many people have compared this to Lisa Eldridge's lipstick formula. The Black Magic lipsticks are kind of a metallic finish. I only own one of these, but I will say it's a gorgeous, gorgeous product. It looks metallic. I think when you look at the packaging, it could look almost overwhelming or exciting, depending on your perspective, but it looks very glittery. It's not when you apply it. It's just a very is actually a gorgeous metallic. I feel like a lot of metallics are not flattering, and yet these are. Still, I don't own as many of those because I prefer a matte finish, go figure. And then the Boss Gloss, which I have in the shade Passion. This is not my style. I don't like lip stains at all, actually. Ooh, going against the trends, I know, but this is kind of more of what you get if you mixed a lip stain with a gloss. It lasts a lot longer on your lips than a gloss. It's quite a sticky finish, so I think it's unique, and I think that some people will say that's the gloss I've been looking for. But if you do like a more light gloss, not a lot of color, not a lot of pigment to it, I don't think it'll be for you, and yet I do think this will be an amazing find for others. So that's it. We've come to the end of today's video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Do you have any Uoma Beauty favorites? Do you have any other black-owned brand favorites? I bought the Minted Cosmetics eyeshadow palette in my Ulta order this week, so hopefully that's coming very soon. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you all next time.